Ada hal yang berbeda di Malaysia, 14 hal yang berbeda dia akui di sini guys. Yang tak mungkin pernah ada ia jumpai di negaranya Jerman. Walaupun keunikan-keunikan itu terjadi di Malaysia, dia merasakan sesuatu hal yang memang tak biasa dirasakan sebelumnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo guys, berjumpa lagi bersama Indra SFN channel. Apa kabar Anda semua di sana? Dan tentunya aku sangat berharap sekali semoga kita semua dalam keadaan baik-baik saja, dalam keadaan sehat selalu. Dan semoga juga segala macam aktivitas kita, kegiatan kita semoga diberikan kemudahan dan kelancaran oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Amin. Oke guys, di sini ada pembahasan terbaru lainnya guys ya. Dan di sini dikisahkan tentang cerita Mat Saleh asal Jerman guys. Nah di sini dia mengungkapkan secara jujur ya. Pertama kali dia masuk negara Malaysia guys ya, dari Jerman ke negara Malaysia. First time dia ke negara Malaysia, dia sudah merasa ada keanehan-keanehan yang berbeda. Dan dia berpikir guys, kok ini aneh, tidak seperti ada di negara saya. Hal-hal yang aneh ada 14 hal yang aneh dia ungkapkan di sini guys, dan hal itu adalah hal yang spesial dan dia rasa tak akan mungkin pernah dia jumpai di negaranya Jerman. Nah guys, di sini kita akan membahas sebenarnya hal yang mengagetkan oleh Mat Saleh ini. Ada 14 macam di Malaysia yang mungkin berbeda daripada negaranya Jerman. Dan sebelum kita mereaksi video itu, alangkah baiknya bagi Anda yang belum support, belum mendukung channel ini, silahkan kalian dukung dulu dengan mengklik tombol subscribe dan aktifkan notifikasi bell agar tidak ketinggalan update video terbaru dari channel ini. Dan langsung saja kita mereaksi video itu karena aku sudah tidak sabar lagi ingin melihat hal apa saja sih dari ke-14 ini guys. Kita bahas sekarang, jom.
It's special, and it's the people who makes this country so special, and the habits. And in this video I'm going to show you 8, 9, 10, 15 different habits that surprised me when I came here to Malaysia initially, until I fall in love with them. So let's get started right away with my all-time favorite, traffic. When I came to Malaysia from Germany, I was so used to the fact that cars would stop if they would see me waiting at a road, especially waiting at a zebra crossing. No such thing in Malaysia. Crossing a street here in Malaysia can feel like a car is chasing you down. I felt like being chased down. I was in the middle of the road sometimes and I felt like the car is even accelerating just seeing me crossing the street. And I ran for my life. There's one thing that I needed to learn from the Malaysian, and you as a Malaysian most likely know what I'm talking about. It is the magic hand. The hand stretching out at the road, stretching out while waiting at a zebra crossing, kind of commanding the cars to stop. Will they stop? Well, not always. Is it more likely they stop? Well, it is. It is definitely safer for my life. So if you want to cross the street, if you want to cross a zebra crossing, make it a habit to stretch out your hand and hope a car will stop for you. Number 2, I was amazed by the number of motorcycles crisscrossing the streets here in Malaysia. I rode a motorcycle in Germany, a big one. Initially in Malaysia I also rode a motorcycle, but I gave it up very quickly. I felt too dangerous. And it still is, and the number of motorcycles have increased of course, but there's one thing that amazes me. It's when motorcyclists wait in front of the cars for the traffic light to turn green and they just keep talking to each other. I don't believe they know each other. It's just the normal friendliness of Malaysia that people start talking to each other while they're waiting somewhere. It's just wonderful, but it's very unique, I believe. Number 3, now something I'm asking you to help me. Why do motorcyclists wear a jacket in front? It still astonishes me. I have no idea why this is the case. Is it to protect them from the sunshine? Is it because the dust is there? Is it easier to take off and take on again? I don't know. I still don't know. I can't remember as well if I ever asked any of my friends. So I'm asking you here right now. Comment below So, if you have any idea, if you can help me out here in understanding why do motorcyclists wear the motorcycle jacket from the front. Number 4, it's about carrying the whole family on a motorcycle. It's not that often the case here in Kuala Lumpur,
Masih
but when I
motorcycle
see
ya
it,
guys ya.
I'm scared. It's the father and the mother and 1 or 2 children sitting on a motorcycle, holding dearly to each other.
I don't know what you mean by it. I'm scared it's a father and a mother and one sitting on a motorcycle holding brother. How about a web search for it?
Here is Siri even asking me about this point that I just made. It is so incredible, funny. When I see the family, it gives me the gully feeling inside me. Please, if you are one of those who are riding the motorcycle with more than 2 people, take care while you ride. Next point is cars zigzagging all the time on the roads. Coming from Germany, most of the time, cars are lining up when there is a traffic jam. It's kind of procedural. You don't jump across to the other lane. In Malaysia, the moment there is a lane going slower than the others, instantly you see indicators coming up. The cars want to move out from their lane onto the next lane that seem to move faster. It's psychological, of course. It's the feeling like, hey, they move faster, I gotta be there. It's like the grass is greener on the other side. My wife told me I adapted quite well to this one as well, that I can zigzag, and I think I do. The next point I want to point out, and it's lesser nowadays than it was at the time when I came. No walking in Malaysia. Gosh, it was so strange. But what happened is that my friends drove their car if the next destination was just about 200, 300, 400 meters away. And I thought like, why don't we walk to that place? And they looked at me, ayo, Jaula, we have to walk back anyway to the car, so why not going the 200 meters? There's a parking spot just over there. All of us jumped back into the car and just drove for 200 meters, 300 meters, 400 meters. Got out of the car and ended the next place where we wanted to go to. It's less happening today because of the lack of parking in Malaysia, but it's just a memory I have that surprised me. Let's move on
guys,
to
kita
the
pause dulu di
food.
sini ya.
My favorite.
Dan ternyata hal-hal dari awal ya katakan ya guys ya, hal yang aneh tapi spesial dirasakan dari awal itu. Dia mengatakan bahwa ini tentang kendaraan ya, motosikal dan juga mobil masih di lingkaran itu saja guys ya. Oke, kita akan melihat apa saja sih yang sisanya ini guys ya, mungkin di luar dari kendaraan itu tadi. Oke, kita coba play.
Favorite food is Malaysian food. Malaysian food is the best. But coming from Germany, when I came here, I was in for a couple of surprises. One thing is that I thought like Malaysians eat all the time and it's rice, rice, rice. Morning, lunch, evening, and maybe even supper. I worked in the EPU, in the Prime Minister's department, and we had lunch in the canteen of Bank Negara. And I saw the same Malaysians eating all the time. And I thought like, wow, it's amazing. How can you all stay so slim? It's fantastic. Now I thought coming here, I wanted to eat rice as well, cooking it by myself initially. So I went to the supermarket and looking for that one package of rice for one person to cook. It didn't exist, of course. And I was looking up and down the aisles, couldn't find it at all, until I realized that the smallest package available in Malaysia is at least 10, 15 or 20 kilos. Not a single person package. So I was in for a surprise as well, because I looked at that big bag and I thought like, this kind of bag will take me 20 years to complete. That was before I also started to eat rice all day long. The next point related to food is everything jampur, mixed up together onto one plate. It's happening more when I go to the mamak stalls. And even I take sometimes the beef or the chicken or the fish onto one plate. It doesn't happen like this in Germany. You have beef today and chicken tomorrow and fish the third day. But you don't put it all together onto one plate. Here in Malaysia, it's happening. And next to it, related to it, are the curries. Fish curry, chicken curry, the dal, and any other curry available. And all of it onto the food, into the rice. Flavors exploding in the mouth. Coming from Germany, when I arrived here, I initially thought like, how is that possible? Mixing it all together, not realizing that's the magic. Next point, related to food still, is the cold food. In Germany, food is warm, and I expected it to be warm. But if I go to the mamak stall, it was a shock. The vegetables or the meat, cold. That was something I had to get used to. But after that many years
Wow,
being
ada
in
ikan keli juga,
Malaysia,
guys.
it became normal for me. I don't care. But it was strange initially. Moving on from the food, living in the condominium, washing dishes in Malaysia. That has only cold water at the sink in the pantry of Malaysian households. So you're putting the soap onto a little sponge and you're washing the dishes under running and cold water. Somehow it feels strange. I wasn't used to that coming from Germany, because in Germany at least you got hot water running at the sink in the kitchen. So it still feels a bit strange to me that I have to wash the dishes under running water, because I am still not sure if that's not a huge waste of water overall. What do you think watching that video here? Also, of course, that dishwashers are not so common here in Malaysia, while they are more common nowadays in Germany. Malaysian toilets in public places were, and some still are, not known for their cleanliness. It's highly likely that the floor is wet, water from the usage of the bidet. As a tourist, you're most likely not used to seeing water on the floor, seeing water on the toilet seat, because the person before you used the bidet. It is something I had to get used to when I came to Malaysia. Of course, I wish the toilets were dry. What can you do? It's something to clench your teeth and just get over it and have a smile and just use the toilet to the best way possible. But also what is interesting to see in the toilets in Malaysia are the air blowers. Not sure if the female toilets got air blowers as well, but the male toilets for sure, many of them have air blowers, blowing the air out of the toilets. Why that's the case? Well, because it's smelly, but it's something that you might not necessarily see in other parts of the world. Quite an interesting adventure to visit a toilet in Malaysia. All the things I've mentioned here right now are adorable. I love them, and I believe there could be more that I could share. But I love Malaysia for its uniqueness, and I still learn about different approaches to culture here in Malaysia even after so many years. It's a never-ending journey, and it's delightful. So traffic, food, interacting with different people, I personally learned to appreciate the Malaysian culture, the Malaysian uniqueness, making Malaysia a place that I can call my home. And if you want to learn more about my journey in Malaysia, why don't you watch the video up here after you completed watching this video here. If you like this video, why don't you share it with your friends, like and comment below right now. And remember, please, to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification button so you get notified when I launch a
Subscribe
new
juga,
video.
guys.
And I'm
Link
off
udah
to
aku
create
taruh
my
di
next
deskripsi,
video.
silakan
Until
Anda
then,
tengok
terima
aja.
kasih.
Bukan di
Jumpa
sana.
lagi and bye-bye.
Dan itu tadi video yang baru saja kita reaksi, guys. Kita saksikan bagaimana pengakuan dari Mat Saleh Jerman ini. Dia mengaku ada hal yang berbeda di Malaysia. 14 hal yang berbeda dia akui di sini, guys. Yang tak mungkin pernah ada ia jumpai di negaranya Jerman. Walaupun keunikan-keunikan itu terjadi di Malaysia, dia merasakan sesuatu hal yang memang tak biasa dia rasakan sebelumnya. Tapi dia mengakui bahwa dia sudah merasa sangat mencintai negara Malaysia, sangat menyayangi negara Malaysia dengan keunikan-keunikan yang ada. Ini baru 14 yang dia ungkapkan, belum lagi keunikan lain yang dia terima, guys, ya. Seperti ada beberapa hal lainnya, culture shock yang mungkin saja di daerah-daerah lain atau di negeri-negeri lainnya belum pernah dia rasakan hal tersebut. Kita tunggu saja. Mungkin ada kejutan-kejutan lain yang diakui juga oleh Mat Saleh yang satu ini. Oke, lagi demikian tadi video aku. Semoga video ini bermanfaat bagi kita semua, dan aku mohon undur diri, mohon maaf guys jika ada kesalahan dan kekurangan, karena aku juga manusia biasa, berkata-kata juga mungkin sering salah. Dan aku mohon undur diri, mohon maaf. Aku akhiri, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.